Hi you guys, I'm so excited for this tutorial with Easter coming up. I thought, we always dye eggs, why not paint eggs? So today we've got some pretty basic painting supplies. So I have just our basic paints. So we can play around with color mixing. If you have other colors, that's great too. I've got our primary colors, so I've got yellow, blue, and red. And then I have white, and then I have brown. And the secret about brown is that you can make brown by mixing complementary colors. So mixing yellow and purple, or red and green, or blue and orange. So, is that right? Yeah, blue and orange. So, so you don't need brown, just for the convenience of the video I'm going to use brown. So if you don't know how to make brown, you can just rewind and I will have just told you how to do it, so you can check those out. But yes, I do have white so that I can mix and make lighter colors and different values. Okay, so my other supplies that I need were painting. So I've got a couple different paint brushes. I've got a large, a small, and a medium, just because I'm not sure what I'm going to want to use. Whatever you have is great. And then we have, I like to use these little trays. I'll show you what the tray looks like. I love mochi, so I get green tea mochi whenever I go to restaurants that have it, or whenever I go to Trader Joe's, I always pick some up, and they come in these perfect little round egg-like cartons. And they have 6 little holes, so it's like a perfect slot for all of these, and then you have 2 extra to do some mixing in it. So I have already prepared up some colors in this one, but yeah, those are great. You can just use a paper plate. Whatever you have is awesome. Okay, it doesn't have to be something specific like this. I have a permanent marker for any little decorative details that I want to add. I have this. It's a little pipe cleaner, decorative, bendy art craft tool. This is just kind of an extra for fun. I'll show you what I'll do with that. It's definitely not necessary, but kind of a fun thing if you have extra things laying around like that, like fluffy little cotton balls. I'll have to go grab one of those because I'm realizing I don't have mine as I say it. You can add things like that, and it just makes it so cute. So here in this bowl I have 3 hard-boiled eggs, and I let them warm a little bit. So I just let them sit out so that they weren't super cold. I think that that's going to help a little bit with the paint drying process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pieces of paper. I just took a piece of paper and cut a couple strips. I'm going to measure around the bottom of my egg and create a little egg stand. So if you have egg dyeing kits, I'm actually going to move you guys down just a little bit here so you can really see my table here. There we go. So if you guys have egg dyeing kits, they come with them, but this is just a super easy way to make them. So you make a little slit on top. You wrap it around, figure out how big you want it. And then you make another slit right there. And then they will slide together nicely just like that. So then your little eggie can sit right on top. So here's one, and I just made that one a little bit small, but that's okay. We'll leave it. Here's 2. Make this one a little bigger. For those of you who are interested in some of the other things that I've been doing lately, this is what we're going to do tonight in my paint and wine night class. That's a little sunset scene. This was our project from Wednesday. Is it Wednesdays? Yeah, Wednesdays and Tango class. I got a project I'm working on for my house back here, so got a lot of stuff going on in here. I did get a new light, so hopefully you guys will be able to see things a little bit better. I'm gonna have to get used to it. I can tell that the whites kind of blur out a little bit, so we'll be playing around with that too. Just getting everything all figured out for you guys. Okay, so now I have my eggs in their little egg stands. Okay, and parents, that's something you could probably do before if you don't want to hassle with it after. This one might give me a little trouble because it's a little narrow. We're gonna try and leave it and see if we can make it work. Okay, so I actually didn't plan these ones out ahead of time, but I definitely know I want to do a bunny, a chick, and then I was looking at some pictures and I saw a pretty cute little ice cream cone. So I'm going to do those with you today on these eggs. Now, I am going to take one of these and I'm going to make it into my little chick. So I've got my little egg. I'm going to take my permanent marker. Now this is especially important because I feel that when they are cold, the eggs have a little bit of moisture on the surface, and so then they don't want to hold the permanent marker. So this is a helpful tip to just let them sit out for a little bit so that they have a little bit of time to dry out on the edge, so you can use things like permanent markers. So what I'm doing right now is I am just creating a little set of eyes and a little beak, and I just chose a color that's not a very good one. I'm going to switch it up. This one will be better. I'm going to give him blue eyes. So with the paints, it's nice because we can do an all over paint, and then once it dries we can touch up some of the details. You could also do the permanent marker right on top after. So both of those are great options. For today, I'm showing you how to draw in the details first and then paint and embellish after. Okay, so I've got my little, there we go. I've got my little chick face, so it's got little eyes and a little beak. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my paintbrush and I'm gonna cover this little chick in yellow. Now the secret is you wanna hold it on the top and the bottom so you can move it around and paint it, and then you'll set it on the stand and then paint the top so the bottom can stay white. Now the colors that I have mixed up, I have a regular yellow for my chick. I have a pink for my bunny rabbit, because like my other drawings that I've done, I really like giving my bunny rabbits a little pink round tummy like in cartoons. So I have my plain yellow, my pink, and then for my ice cream cone I have brown and I have blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a blue ice cream, so maybe it's a bubblegum ice cream. Doesn't that sound good? And then I'm going to put sprinkles. Oh, hi Drax. I'm going to put sprinkles that are pink and yellow on there. Oh. Hi Drax. I've got Draxie the art critic kitty yelling at me about something. Yes, Drax. You want to come up here and say hi? Okay, so now my chick is all yellow. I'm going to show you how we're going to embellish him. Tricky part here, getting him back on the egg stand. and then doing some little touch-ups. So I got him back on here. You do have to touch the side a little bit. So ones like this where you completely color around, paint around the whole thing, you might have to do little touch-ups, and that's okay. So you can do this type of stuff when you're dyeing eggs. And dyeing eggs is so much fun. I love it. My dad used to show us how to do tie-dye eggs, which you guys know I love tie-dye. I always wear my tie-dye shirts when I do art when they're clean. They're not clean right now. They're currently in the wash machine. But I just absolutely love doing this tie-dye. So I'll have to show you guys how to do that. I'll do a special lesson on how to do that maybe. But this is just kind of fun because you can make them more precise. So the things that you can do to them are more grand of a scale than if you were to just just dunk them in the dye. So now I'm doing a little bunny face. So what I'm doing is just creating 2 circles for the cheeks, a triangle for the nose, and 2 circles for the eyes, and then giving them a big set of buck teeth. And you know me, I got a gap in my teeth, so I give my little guys a good gap in their teeth too. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you his little face once we're done. Again, I didn't prep any of this before because I want you guys to kind of see how that creative process works. Let's see, our chick had blue eyes, so let's give this one green eyes maybe. That'll be fun. Ooh, that's too light. Can't see it. Try a different one. And these are just skinny permanent markers that I'm using. Hi, Drexy. Hi. You wanna come up here? But yeah, they're skinny permanent markers. If you use regular markers, it will wash off. So you don't want to do that. Now, this one is a bunny, so it's going to be all white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up giving him some feet and a tail and some ears. So it's going to take, this one takes embellishment as well. We'll have one that's painted with a little bit of embellishments. We'll have one that's less painted with lots of embellishments, and then we'll have one that's just painted. So we're kind of doing a little bit of everything today. Now, let me show you this cutie before we do the paint. What, Jaxie? Yeah? There we go. Look at that cute little guy. Okay? That's going to be our bunny rabbit. Now, I'm just going to take a little bit. Hi. You guys see Drax? Hi. Draxie, the art critic. Yeah, you looking at everything? Okay. Nope. Yep. Don't stand up there. You'll knock that over. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, luckily I have different size brushes, so I'm going to use a small one. And I'm going to give this little bunny a little round pink tummy. So all I'm doing is right below his cute little face, I'm doing a pink circle. It's gonna look like this. Look how cute that little guy is. Nope, nope. Drax, leave that alone, please. He's trying to stand on my ring light. Not helpful, dude. Okay, so I have my chick and my bunny. Now, let me turn my little chick so you can see its face. That's kind of far away. Now, this last one's gonna be all painted, so here we go. I am going to start with my, let's start with my brown, because that's a little bit darker. I'm gonna get another brush out. Okay. Hi. So brown is gonna be the bottom. So I know I can leave it blank on the bottom because the stand is there, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brown paint and I'm going to create a scalloped effect. So what that means is I'm going to make these little loops, and let me just show you what I mean. So I'm creating this rounded pattern. Now I did choose to get a big brush, so I'm probably gonna have to go back through and adjust my loops with my blue paint. Some of them just aren't that rounded. I'll put a little more color around it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay. So it's kind of like this. Little bumps, like where the ice cream is hanging over the ice cream cone. So I'm just gonna give the bottom of that a little coat of paint. And then what I will do is once it's dry, I'll go over it with a permanent marker and I'll add those lines in there. Yeah, so the waffle cone maker creates a crosshatch pattern in cones. So I'm going to be sure to put that in once it is dried. Now, the bottom is done. I'm going to put it on its stand, and it might need a little touch up. Here we go. Now I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to fill that top part. So this is the part that's the ice cream. Good. What you doing, Draxie? Okay. So I'm gonna just give this a top layer. Whew. Just one more swoop around to try and even out the coat. Okay, now I'm gonna let that one dry and I'm gonna move back over to my chick, because my chick is about ready. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create little feet for my chick. So, in doing that, I'm gonna create the letter W. So, well, since I'm doing it this way, it's going to be an M. So it's going to come down, go back up, and come back down. Okay, so there's the letter M. Then I'm going to come here, I'm going to squeeze them together nice and tight like this. So it's like it's got little toesies. And I'm going to give it a twist. So the whole thing, a little twist. So now it should look like a little heart. And we want to have this extra on the end, okay? So now I'm going to leave a tiny bit of space and I'm going to start that M again. So here, here, here. So we've got our second M. Squeeze them together, pinch them in, and then give them a twist. So now we have two little hearts. You want to make sure they stay nice and close together. That one was trying to squeeze apart here. There we go. Now, with this extra stuff, we're going to just make a little circle. And we are going to loop them around. And then we have a little ring with two hearts on it. So now I should be able to replace my ring stand with my little feet. So let me bring it up close so you can see it. So now my little chick looks like that. And it can just sit right here. So see, it stays and it's sitting and it's got its cute little feet. So then what I might go through and do is I might take my permanent marker and I might add wings like that. There we go. He has cute little wings, maybe a little tuft of hair because he's a cute little guy and he's got a little fluff ball on the top of his head. Good. And then he has his cute little feetsies. There we go, and we have a cute chick. Now, when I have my supplies, they are like this. Now, I could do the same for the bunny, but for the sake of just time and wanting things to be different, I would do the feet the same, just in white. So I'm going to show you now. We're going to go like this. We're going to take our pipe cleaner and fold it in half. Okay? It's in half. Now from here, I want you to fold about an inch over and then make that round. Now from here, give those a little twist. So now we have a circle that our egg can sit on. Like this. Oh, I touched it. It wasn't quite dry yet. Work with me here, egg. It's not wanting to sit on my circle. I think my circle's just a little too big for this egg. There we go. Now, it looks like it has little antennas, huh, back here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of hold our egg in place and see where his little earsies would be. And we're gonna fold our pipe cleaners in half to create these little ears. See that? Now let me show you. This is what it looks like. Okay, a little uneven, but there we go. And all it is a pipe cleaner that sits like this, and the egg just props right in there. Now a cute thing to do would be to have the feet and then to glue a little cotton ball here. So that would be a really fun idea too. Now, we've got our chick and our bunny rabbit over here. We can get rid of our egg holders. Now for the last one, My ice cream cone is still a little bit wet, so I'm not gonna be able to do the bottom part, but what I sure can do is add in my sprinkles. So I'm just gonna take a square brush like this, and I'm just going to put these straight sprinkles. You know, the ones that you see on the big cookies? I'm gonna put those all over my ice cream cone. Now I'm gonna go in with another color of pink that I made and add some more. There we go. And then I'm just gonna add in some yellow. Sometimes with yellow you gotta be a little careful. You gotta add some white in there so that you can see it. I didn't add white to mine, so it's a little bit transparent. Okay. Very good. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift it up, and again, it's still a little wet, so. What I'm gonna do is around it, so we've got this little ice cream, but we've got these funny bumps. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our paintbrush, and we're gonna take a darker version of whatever color we used, and we're going to just make a ledge right around where the ruffles are. Because when we see an ice cream cone, it's usually round and then like little clouds down below. So we're gonna make that line to show where our ice cream cone dents in. Good. Oh, I'm touching my sprinkles. They're getting a little messed up here. Okay. So then I have my little sprinkles and my ice cream cone. So what I would do once this dried, and again, because this one's still a bit wet, I would go in and make those waffle lines in there. Okay, so I've got my ice cream cone. Now this one still has to sit on a stand because it does not have any feet. And that's quite all right. So we have our bunny right here. We have our cute little chick, and we have our ice cream cone. I hope you guys had so much fun today. Please get creative. These are super fun ideas. You can also take them anywhere else you would like to. There's just like so many opportunities to be creative when it comes to painting eggs. So please, please, please show me what it is that you guys come up with. I can't wait to see. Bye. Show me in your comments. See you then.